Greetings all and welcome to Dave's Craft Room, and on today's video I have an extra special quilt plan. It's this pattern by Colourwerx. I'm actually going to follow the whole pattern, I think. Kind of. And make this quilt. I think it's going to be stunning. It's using 16 solid colors, 5/8 of a yard, which we don't have, but I have a special plan to make it my own, which is this. I have a whole collection here of t-shirts with cartoons, like 80s, 90s and stuff, cartoons. This is, I think, Land Before Time. We're gonna do that for the TV screens, because these TV screens are actually appliques. That's why I have this, my fusible webbing. This is flexifuse fusible, which is really good. We have 16 of these, and there are 16 TVs, so we're perfect. We know that I'm kind of illiterate when it comes to patterns, but I think I'm getting better. After the robot quilt, following that pattern, I think I'm gonna be able to do this. And I also think I may be able to get away with using less than 3/8 of a yard, and just by using 1/4 of a yard, because I'm not doing the 5x7 inch rectangle out of the solids. I'm gonna be using t-shirt. So, first thing, let's cut our fabric. We need to pull 16, these are my solids by the way, 16 solids, and cut them. Okay guys, so I have everything cut pretty much. Since I did not use the 5.5 inch square for the screen of it, I could get a background and a TV out of just one fat quarter. And this is the scraps. I'll keep these for when I make a mistake and need to pull from it, although there's not very much. This is gonna go, whatever doesn't get used in this is gonna go into the solid colors crazy quilt. I used a whiteboard to make sure I had 16 of each. And then the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this part. You see that? These are the bars. I need 4 of them, and the instructions are here. Basically, it's easy. All you do is sew these up, these strips, and then blue, pink, green, and dark blue. Okay, I'm just gonna sew these stripes all up. So we cut this into what, 5-inch pieces? Five inches. The next thing we need to do is make bars below it. So they're gonna go this way. No! I messed up 2 of them, look. I sewed the wrong side. Rip, seam ripper! So here we have them. These are wonky, guys. They are wonky. But mod, it's very mod. I mean, maybe it'll look good in the final quilt. I don't know. I don't have time to make new ones, so I think I'm gonna make them work. They're not so wonky that they're not gonna fit. And it'll be fine. Do they even look like the bars that you see on a TV screen? Like, I haven't watched an actual television on a TV. I don't remember the last time I did. I watched Netflix. It's the 90s. I'm just gonna put these on the design wall and then we're gonna start building our TVs. So let's follow the directions step by step. Step 1, cutting, done. Step 2. Okay, step 3. So this is gonna be my first one. Gather the following pieces, fabric number 1 background. So I need 2 of the sides and 1 of the TV. We're gonna make it wonky. That's what we're doing here. We're making it kind of wibbly wobbly. Angle your ruler from top right to bottom right and slash the edge off with your cutter. Repeat on the left edge. Although this is an arbitrary cut, try not to slash off more than 1.5 inches from the bottom edges, otherwise the TV block will finish too short. Also vary your angles from TV set to TV set to create variety. Okay, this is very interesting. We're not even measuring, we're just going like this, no more than 1.5 inches, and we're just gonna okay, sew these on. Stitch the leg units. So the next step is the leg units. We need these. Oh, we need these. I'm missing them! I knew this was gonna happen. So we need to dig through here for our orange. Select 2 leg rectangles. Finger press them in half to create a center crease, okay. Lay 1 of these from the center crease to the outer corner, like that. None of this has to be perfect or any particular way, because they can each be different. Now we do that again. And this is what we have. All right, we have a leg. Now, if you can see this, that is a little bit alarming, but that's within 1/4 inch. So I suspect, and I hope, that I'm going to cover it up. Oh, the leg goes this way. And I'm gonna cover that up in a seam allowance. I hope! This is so nerve-wracking. Okay, our legs are done. Now all we have to do is sew them up. Like this. Legs done. What's next? Oh, sew it onto the TV. Whew. This whole thing has got me gooped.
Let's do the directions. Center the unit on the bottom edge of the TV set you created in part 1. Stitch the leg unit to the bottom of the TV set and press the seams toward the TV set. You may choose to finger press a finishing. Okay.
Nothing about this quilt has to be perfect except the measurements. When you cut, you have to measure correctly. That's stunning. It's actually taking shape as a TV set. Next! Oh geez, there's antenna. Let's just do one at a time. Stop freaking out. Get everything out that I don't need right now. Okay, so those are our antenna. Then we can now assemble it to our TV thusly. So now I'm gonna trim these off because that's extra bulk. Iron it! Oh my gosh, you guys, it is a TV! That is so stunning, that really took shape. So we have to trim it to 12.5 by 12.5. Okay guys, the TV really took shape. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm gonna go ahead and sew these all up. And I'll come back when I have all the TVs, and then we're gonna add the actual screens with stuff on them, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll be back. So we're back, and here are all my TV blocks. Well, here's 14 of them. There's 2 over there. They turned out really well. This was actually ridiculously fun and easy once you get the hang of it. And now is the part I'm even more excited for, the t-shirts. I already cut them up last night. All I did was I cut the fronts off and the sleeves off from the backs. I have here a window or a viewfinder that we can use to see like a preview of what it's gonna look like. We have to figure out like what portion we're gonna use. Initially I was a little disappointed because I was like, oh, that's too small, you know what I mean? But then I realized that I could have some parts peeking out from like what would be the screen, you know what I mean? So like, for example, on Scooby-Doo, I can have like, this is the TV screen, but then I don't have to cut the ghosts off. The ghosts can kind of peek out as though they're coming out of the TV screen. I think that's gonna be cool. So what we need to do, we need to use our viewfinder to find the section we want. And then I've already cut up these. This is my flexifuse paper from off the roll. Iron it onto the back. Okay? And these are bigger than what I actually need so that I can cut them down to size later. And then I'm gonna cut it out, and this is gonna be my chance to use this iron. This is an iron. I'm gonna use this to turn the edges over. That's gonna be easier than using that. I'm gonna see if it works. I don't know if this is gonna get hot enough to really work, or if it's gonna work with t-shirt, but I wanna turn the edges under. Let's get started one at a time. I have the flexifuse ironed onto the back of the t-shirt patch, and I'm using the tiny iron to turn the edges under. I cut them slightly larger than I needed to so I'd have something to turn under. Next, I iron it onto the TV using a sheet of parchment paper so that I don't melt the ink on the t-shirt, and lastly I top stitch it down around the edges. Most of these cartoons are ones that I watched as a child. I loved Land Before Time, Beetlejuice, Scooby-Doo, and me and my brother used to watch Pokemon every single day. I also liked gargoyles. Lexington was my favorite gargoyle. I actually think I was part of the last generation to watch Saturday Morning Cartoons because I think that kind of ended in the early 2000s. So I'm definitely nostalgic about that time period. So let me know in the comments, did you watch Saturday Morning Cartoons when you were growing up? Which ones did you like? Leave a comment below. This is the final result. I find it so stunning. It's pretty small, so it would make a good baby quilt or wall hanging. I decided to hang it in my living room behind the couch. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and please come again.